Good morning, children. Now, today we will start with the third chapter of geography, that is mineral and power resources. Now, what are we going to learn in this chapter? Just let's look at the points. First, what are minerals? How are they created? Types of minerals, extraction of minerals, then distribution of minerals in India and the world. Then we are going to see to the uses of minerals, how are we going to conserve the minerals, and then we will look at some of the power resources, the conventional and non-conventional power resources, and their advantages and disadvantages. Children, we will start with a new topic, minerals and power resources. Now, what are minerals? Minerals actually play a very important role in our lives. Did you know that the toothpaste that you use in the morning has so many minerals in it? Limestone, aluminum oxide, silica, phosphate, all these are used for cleaning the teeth. Then we have titanium oxide for giving you that whiteness of your teeth, fluoride to prevent cavities in your teeth, mica to give the sparkle on your teeth. Okay, so you see, this simple toothpaste has so many minerals in it. Then we consume minerals in our daily life, in our food, which is essential for the proper functioning of the organs of our body. We are eating potassium, chloride, sodium, calcium. All these we are using in small quantities in our food. Then you see minerals like tungsten is used in the ballpoint pen. It is also used in the filament of bulbs. Nickel is used in rechargeable batteries. Silver and argentite are used in photography film. And graphite is in the pencil that you're using every day. So you see how minerals are very important in our lives. So you see, even the bus that you take to school is also made of a mineral, right from a tiny pin to the space shuttle, from articles of daily use to sophisticated electronic gadgets. Everything uses mineral in some form or the other. Now, if you see, today is the age of science, technology advancement, and industrialization. How has this happened? It is because of the proper use of these minerals. Now, if you see the index of civilization since ancient times, what has happened? There has been a gradual progress of man, right? You can trace them from Stone Age to Copper Age to Iron Age, and more you can say as Steel Age. How has this happened? This is the economic development has happened due to man has effectively extracted and utilized minerals and power resources. Now, so we can say, what are minerals? Minerals are naturally occurring substances with a definite chemical composition and fixed physical properties. Now, how we can identify minerals? We can identify minerals on the basis of their physical properties, such as color. So how color? Like we can say coal is black in color or brown, quartz may be red, pink, black, purple. And then hardness, like we can say the diamond is hard and talc is as soft. Now we can also identify with the chemical properties like solubility. We can say some minerals like common salt, gypsum, potash salts are soluble in water, but quartz is not soluble. Okay, so this is the way we can identify minerals. Children, now let us again understand what are minerals. So minerals are naturally occurring substances that have a definite chemical composition. Now let me take an example from your textbook, like biscuits. In a biscuit there are a number of things that you cannot see. Similarly, rocks on this earth have several materials called minerals. Okay, they are mixed in them, and these minerals are scattered throughout the earth's rocky crust. Okay, they are not evenly distributed on the earth's crust. They are concentrated in particular areas or rock formations, and some minerals found in areas which are not easily accessible, such as the Arctic Ocean bed and Antarctica. Now, how are these minerals created? You can see they are present in rocks, but how are they created? They are created by natural processes without any human interference. Children, now you know there are about 3,000 different minerals on the earth, and on the basis of the composition, minerals can be classified as metallic minerals, non-metallic minerals, and energy minerals. Now let us look at metallic minerals. Okay, metallic mineral. Now what are metallic minerals? They contain metals in raw form. What are metals? Metals are hard substances that conduct heat and electricity and have a characteristic luster or shine in them. For example, iron ore, bauxite, manganese, etc. Now, we can further classify metallic minerals into ferrous, non-ferrous and precious minerals. Now, ferrous minerals like iron ore, manganese, chromites, nickel, all these contain iron. And non-ferrous minerals are those which does not contain iron but may contain other metals like copper, tin, bauxite. And there are other precious metals which are gold, silver and platinum. These are metallic minerals. Okay, now we go to the next classification, that is non-metallic mineral. An example is mica and limestone. Now non-metallic minerals are those that do not contain any metals. And the third is energy minerals. Example I can give you is coal and petroleum. Okay, they are mineral fuels, so that is why they are called as energy minerals. Children, we go to the next point, that is extraction of minerals. Now, the geologists study about the structure and composition of the Earth's interior. They help in identifying the reserves of minerals. Children, minerals are rarely found freely on the surface of the Earth. They have to be extracted and acquired from areas deep within the Earth's crust. The process of extraction of minerals from the interior of the earth is known as mining. And holes are dug to acquire the minerals are called as mines. Now there are three types of mining. You can see mining, which is further classified into open cast mining and shaft mining. The next is drilling and the third is quarrying. Now the mining. What is mining? The process of taking out minerals from rocks buried under the earth is called as mining. And minerals that lie at shallow depth are taken out by removing the surface layer is known as open cast mine. Okay, and then deep bores called shafts have to be made to reach the mineral deposit that lie at greater depth. This is called as shaft mining. And example, petroleum and natural gas which lie further below the earth's surface, they have to be extracted by the process of drilling. Okay, and minerals which lie near the surface of the earth are simply dug out by this process which is called as quarrying. Okay, so these are the three types of mining. You can see mining here. Mining is further classified into open cast mining, then shaft mining, then very deep inside the earth we have especially petroleum and natural gas. We have to use the process of drilling, and then which is lying just below the surface of the earth, we can just simply dig out by the process of quarrying. Okay, so quarrying is just near the surface of the earth. Little deep is open cast mining. Further deeper on the earth crust is shaft mining, and very deep under the earth we use the process of drilling.